Welcome, everyone. Joe Tarnowski with ECRM and RangeMe here. And I have with me Taylor Walker, who is the co-founder and cookie boss of the Spritzal Cookie Company. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of her successes and what led to those successes. So, Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. And to start
Yeah,
off,
thanks.
give us a little overview about your company. You know, the company, its origin, and the products that you sell.
Sure. So my mom and I are the co-founders, and it is based on my great grandmother's recipe. So her original is a Swedish spritz cookie around Christmas time, a shortbread cookie, and then we took that to create Spritzal, and had a little fun name with that. And then now our flavor based on that recipe is our deliciously almond, and then we created a whole clean label, minimal ingredient shortbread cookie bite line that we just launched last year. Been in the market for a while. We were a bakery item, pivoted. Now we're a snack
hmm
cookies.
Can you tell
Yeah,
us a little bit about that? Because I know you
sure.
mentioned on your website you started in farmers markets and you kind of grew organically from there. Take us
Yeah.
through that growth process.
Well, we just turned 10 years old a few days ago, which is crazy. Been a long 10 years. Started the business with my mom. She started it, and I was working in IT sales, and she just started in our kitchen, residential license, did some farmers markets because people around the holidays, we used to give them as Christmas gifts, and they'd start asking around September when their cookies were going to be coming. So she was like, maybe I'll see how it goes and see if, the public likes them as much as our friends and family do. So she started there. She got into a handful of like little gourmet shops in our area. We're south of Boston. And then she got into the Whole Foods Inc. block at like their forager pitch meeting, and got into a handful of Whole Foods there. And I hated my job. And so I quit and came home and started to help her grow. So we moved to a shared commercial kitchen in the city. My dad's a contractor. So the commute was torture. We were getting bigger. We couldn't just do the 1 day a week anymore. So we built out our own commercial kitchen. Um, and then we continued to grow from there. Then we started getting into like some Roach Brothers. We got into some local Wegmans. Her and I were baking all day long, bagging, boxing, driving them to the store, doing the demos, the whole shebang. And we were just nonstop, but we couldn't grow anymore. So then we decided to get a manufacturing partner. And then kind of the rest is history. We've had a few little iterations of ourselves, rebranded. We learned along the way what was working with our branding, what wasn't working. And then in 2019, going into 2020, we decided to completely overhaul and became the fun pink flavor variety that you'll find on shelves now with lots of fun flavors. We have a ooh lemon, we have a birthday cake, a key lime, we have a blueberry pie, which is one of our newest flavors. And then we have an almond chocolatey chip and our deliciously almond. So that's our flavor variety, but we're clean label, minimal ingredient focused. So no BS. We don't use any seed oils or palm oils, just 100% real butter, scaled up from the handwritten card of my great grandmother's recipe. And it's just the simple way that people used to bake. And I think the consumers love it. They're really responding to it. We're giving a better for you option. So that's
That's
that.
great. And better for you is very important nowadays, especially
It is. Yeah.
everyone's focusing on health and wellness. They want clean ingredients. They don't want a whole bunch of things on the ingredient label that they cannot pronounce. So,
That's
and
so
I love your
correct.
journey, and not only that, but your willingness to learn and adapt and change if you have to as the need arises.
Correct. Yeah. It's not easy. Granted, I've gotten some gray hair that I didn't have in my early 20s when I started. But each lesson and each day is an opportunity to learn. You're never going to know everything. And I say this all the time, and it's true. If you don't ask a question, no matter how stupid you think it is, you're not going to know the answer.
Mhm.
And it's better to ask for forgiveness and ask a question that somebody might know the answer to than try and fake it, because people know. So, I mean, this industry is hard. It's definitely not been the easiest. You can't go to school for it, basically. You have to learn on the job. But it's so great to connect with other people too in the industry, and see the customer feedback and get to know everybody. And we're been loving working with RangeMe and ECRM. So I'm excited to have this chat with you too today.
Well, that's great. Now you have gotten a lot of experience pitching buyers in all of the summits that you participate in. So, as a Range Me premium subscriber, you have the opportunity to participate in summits and different immediate opportunity campaigns that retailers might do. And when I looked in the back, I saw you at least more than a dozen, maybe 15, and you've had some successes from those. Can you tell us about your experience with those and how they went and how you go about them?
Sure. Well, basically in the morning, I have my morning cup of coffee at 8 a.m. and I hop on LinkedIn and I hop on RangeMe and I see what's up. That's part of my morning routine. And I like to see, what buyers are looking at, if we've got an item or a keyword that's trending. And then I also go review what the category review periods are. We're a certified woman-owned company. We're WPENC certified. So we've participated recently in submitting through the supplier diversity summits that are hosted, as well as, just applying if our category is up for review. And even if we have a broker partner that's working on it directly with them, I'll also still submit. So it's a double, the buyer seeing us more than once in more than one capacity. But we've had some great success with RangeMe. Buyers respond to the fact that they can see the keywords, that they can see different offerings that your product has, how you differentiate within your competitive marketplace. I'm a big data nerd, so I truly appreciate all the analytics that are available for me to see on the back end, and then use that as a tool to have some success. But the Range Me meetings have been great, and I always just submit and see what happens. And if they want to have a meeting, great. If not, I'll find them another way. So yeah, that's basically how I
That's
use Range
great.
Me.
And as
Yeah,
a data nerd, I'm sure you're going to love it. I don't know if you saw, I think we made the announcement last week, but now we're teaming up with Nielsen IQ,
yep,
and there's category level data in there. So you have a
yeah.
lot of
I've
stuff
already
that you can
started
play
playing
with.
with it.
There you go. All right. So now some of these summits included virtual meetings. When you were accepted on RangeMe, you submit through RangeMe, they accept your submission, and then you have a virtual meeting on ECRM's Connect platform.
Correct.
How do you approach those meetings? We talked a little bit about it before, that timer going off, and it's like, all right, it's your turn now.
It's go time.
How do you
Yeah.
prep for them, and how do you approach your buyer meeting?
Well, for starters, I always do my research and see, who I'm talking to. If I've talked to them before and kind of give them an update and then show them, all the strides that we've made, or if it's our first time connecting with this buyer. I always like to be very personable. As you can tell, I'm just a super chill person in general. But I always make sure I'm prepared with my presentation, which I have a great deck that's super successful for us, and I could do it in my sleep. So that part I know is great. But then just having the conversation with them, I kind of like to gun through our presentation. So then we have within those 20-minute blocks that you get enough time to talk things through if they have questions to be able to answer it, and see what they're looking for, and hopefully persuade them to at least request some samples and then go to the next step. So kind of how I use those meetings, and we've
That's
had
excellent.
some awesome ones that are coming soon. So
That's right. You've
yeah,
landed a couple of big chains, so
yeah,
we're glad to hear about that. And uh, my question, so can you, without naming the retailers, can you talk a little bit about some of the wins that you've had?
yeah. So recently we've had one that now will be still going through all the paperwork, but we'll be launching in July. So you can check out our socials for that announcement. I don't announce it until it's on the truck or on the floor.
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
shelf too. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then we just had another great meeting this past week, requested samples. This is for 2025, so there's
Mhm.
still a little bit more follow up to do, and finding the distribution route to get there. But even like with TikTok, we applied. We have a TikTok shop. It's more like I saw the opportunity because we were having issues with TikTok shop, and I'm like,
Mhm.
if I can apply on here and at least get somebody on the other side to answer me, I was like, yay, there's an opportunity here to get an answered question. So there's lots of those kind of situations. Sometimes, with different summits, they'll say maybe not right now, but in the future, and
Mhm.
that's okay too, because it gives you the opportunity to kind of go prove yourself in the other markets you're already in and come back at them with that data in 6 to 8 months when they're doing their next review. So all ups and downs, positive things, but if unless you do it, you're missing an opportunity to get in
Mhm.
front of somebody.
Yeah, I mean, consistency is very important because, like you just said, they're not always going to be ready for you.
Hmm.
You may, and things can happen. You can land somebody within a few months, or you can chase them for 6 years before you get on the shelf.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
I spoke to one brand that did exactly that. One brand he chased for 6 years, and another brand he ended up just meeting at the cocktail reception at one of our sessions, and
Hmm.
they overheard a conversation, and he was on their shelves in 6 months. You
Yeah.
can never tell, so it's
No,
important
exactly.
to be everywhere, to be consistent, stay in front of them. And if it's not the right time, it's not the right time, but maybe next year will, or the year
Hmm.
after that. And
Yeah.
that's important. So that's a
Yeah.
great outlook to have.
Yeah. I also like we're about to do sweets and snacks in a few weeks, and I always put like our RangeMe QR code, so the buyers can see that and they'll know there's some more data to see, and hopefully that converts their eyes to our product in more than one kind of faceted location. But the opportunities are great, and even now I see more retailers are coming on board that weren't there. We've been on ECRM RangeMe for I think we got on in 2020, just before COVID started. So, and it's great to see all the retailers that have been added that see the benefit of using that to kind of source products.
Mhm.
Because sometimes, smaller brands like myself, we're not a big brand yet. We're getting there. But we can't get travel. We can't get in front of the buyer. We don't have the time. We don't have the bandwidth. So this is just a great tool in order to be able to kind of build your brand that way because we can have a conversation like this. I'm in my bedroom office right now. And I don't have to travel or get on a plane to have this conversation. And if you wanted cookies, I can ship them to you. So,
Yep.
and which I'm happy to do, by the way, if you want some
Oh,
cookie
I
treats.
definitely like to check them out. You are in a store that's about maybe 2 miles away from me. I did check.
Oh, cool.
You're in Long Island City near Courthouse Square. So,
Oh, cool. Well,
yes,
snap a pic and send it. We'll share it on socials. Um,
definitely.
yeah, it's fun, and I love this business. I love this industry. I love
Mhm.
being a better for you brand. It's really important for me and my mom. And that's not always easy either. She'll laugh, but we've gotten it to a big place. I never in my wildest dreams thought that this would be my career, but it's every day is amazing.
Yeah, well,
So
you're
I
doing the
love it.
right things. You're doing all the right things, and I love what you just said about, when you go to other trade shows, you use the RangeMe QR code so that at an expo, maybe you get a couple of minutes conversation with somebody. Certainly not enough time for them to see your whole product lineup, but you can give them the QR code, and then they can look through everything you got at their leisure. So that's a great
Exactly.
idea.
Yeah. We have a little QR code, a link me, and it's on there. As much advertising and marketing and due diligence that you can put into your brand and supporting it, that's what I do. So,
Yep. Well, that's good. Just keep at it. That's the way to do it. And I love your proactiveness and participating in all of these reviews and the summits that you can. I think you're right. Stay consistent, stay in front of everybody, and leverage all of the tools that you have on the platform to your
mhm.
advantage. So,
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to checking out your products and watching you continue to grow.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.